Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
All right, I was making those noises with my mouth, I'll be honest, but to be completely transparent, there is a storm going on outside right now. It's pretty remarkable, so you may end up hearing it just through the microphones. So I just want to let you know, the power could go out at any moment, and this show is just over at that point. You may end up with just a 10-minute episode this week. But here's the good news. The power might be replaced with one ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating moron ranting about opinions I have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where you hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and electricity.
For now.
As impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, straight from the haberdashery, we have the yellow tie guy.
Hello.
Hello, Daniel. How are you?
I'm well, Keith. How about
This
you?
is your second time on the show.
It is.
You were here like a year ago when we were first starting off, and now you've wrapped back around.
It's very exciting.
How has fame treated you since you've been on the show?
Oh, well, you know, it's been hard to handle, but I've been doing my best.
Excellent. How do you like these storms? I assume they followed you like the paparazzi. That's what it is. It's God taking photographs of Daniel, the yellow tie guy, because of his fame that he got from the last time he was on Another Wasted Hour.
It would probably have to be an X-ray photo or some sort since we're in the studio.
It's God.
It's God, yeah.
God does whatever he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a hell of a storm out there. You're hearing
It really
as
is.
well.
I was not expecting it, so when it started happening and we could hear it through the soundproofing, I was very surprised.
Yeah. You looked at me and you're like, is that a recording
It's not
that you're
supposed to
doing?
do that.
Like,
Yeah.
nope. Our soundproofing is also terrible. That's really what it comes down to.
But it's something.
It
And,
is something.
and I mean, like, I could hear it like we're outside, and
Yeah.
that's loud.
It's very loud and close. So as I said, we may cut this short. We'll see how it goes.
We might not even be able to finish our...
Just leave it empty like that. Hit record, done for the day.
Boom.
We could have gotten out of this so easily. We could have just said, by the way, you have a very important show coming up Friday, May 25th at the Bungalow in Chantilly, Virginia.
That's right.
Then we just say that, then we stop the show.
And then
That's
it.
all people know. And we just go, oh, sorry, there was power outage. Nothing more we could do about it.
So sad.
Yeah. So,
See you at the show.
but that's true. It's the yellow tie guy, which is not just you. That's a whole band.
It's not. And, you know, I still don't know what to do about that. Yellow tie guy is like a nomenclature.
Yeah.
I became the yellow tie guy because at one point I once wore a yellow tie. It was never meant to be,
Sure.
you know, like I was the only person that ever
Wore a yellow
wore
tie.
a yellow tie or should ever be associated with wearing a yellow tie.
We don't know what a yellow tie represents.
For me, it originally kind of represented just whatever it is in any person that stands out that causes them to be remembered. Because for me, it was just very strange that is what people remembered.
Caught on. Yeah. Interesting.
It wasn't the only color of tie I was wearing at the time. It was just the only one that anybody ever remembered me later for. Nobody was like, oh, you were the guy that wore that blue tie
You're right.
or that red tie. Or,
Yeah.
No, it was just the yellow one that people remembered. And it had multiple occasions, multiple events.
Huh.
You know, and it was just part of my tie rotation. You
Yeah.
know? It was, and it just kind of stuck. And then the band, I'm still the only one in the band that's obligated to wear one on a regular basis. I wish I had, you know, created a really fun name, like, you know, like cross-dresser guy or like, you know, like medieval armor guy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like dress up like a tiger dude.
That's right. Oh yeah. He's the guy that dresses up like a tiger at every show. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Rarely shows up and gets paid anyway, guy.
That's right.
That would be brilliant.
Wears whatever clothes people bring to him backstage before the show guy.
That could be really uncomfortable,
It could be very uncomfortable. Yeah.
especially if everybody forgets.
Or they don't know your size.
Yeah, it's true. That could quickly just turn into like nude guy show.
That's right. Sockman. Sockman and Chronic.
So, so we got storms going on. Speaking of storms, if you didn't do anything for your mother this last weekend, you might be in a world of pain. There's probably a storm brewing in your house.
Well, I have a 2-month-old granddaughter for my mom now, and so that's what I'm currently working on.
You're like, look what I got you.
It's a Mother's Day present still in the works. You
Yeah.
know, like it's not It's like, it's not that great of a Mother's Day present now. Just wait a few years.
Yeah.
Mom.
You're like, sorry, I didn't wrap it. I think that's illegal.
My mom is still, I think, ashamed just at the idea of thinking about me having sex. Like, oh, my poor son,
Yeah.
I can't believe he's gone so far down that path.
That's better than her being like, oh, his poor wife. That'd be a different, totally different sentiment at that point.
Very different.
Oh, why did she have to deal with that?
I couldn't help but notice that we don't ever celebrate a mothers-in-law day. Is that
right? Because we want to forget them. We don't want to believe that they exist.
our mothers are okay, but our spouses' mothers,
No. That's why they have the rumble seats in the old cars. The
That's
mother-in-law seat.
That's right.
Right? It wasn't even in the car. Do you remember those? The ones that like pull up on the back of like the old like
station wagons? I remember the station wagon one.
No, I'm talking like older than that, like the Model A's or whatever,
right,
like that. It was outside, so you had like the covered bit for like you and your wife, and then you had the like extra
trunk
seats
area,
that
right.
were like the trunk area that popped out and didn't have a roof, and that was called the mother-in-law seat.
Well, that's a good seat. I forgot all about that, but now that you mention it, I think we should bring that back.
We should.
Yeah.
People would like it now, I think. I think it would be pretty awesome.
Tesla, are you listening?
Yep.
You need some help.
A rumble seat, as they call it also. Yeah, we should definitely do that. Speaking of rumble seats, we have a bunch of lightning happening outside, and the Washington Capitals have beaten the Lightning twice now in the third round. They hadn't even made it to the third round in like 20 years. Now they finally made it to the round 3. They beat the Penguins, which they also didn't do for 2 decades. And now they're in the third round and they're just sweeping up. Apparently they went back into the like dressing room after winning game 5 of round 2, which nobody thought they'd possibly be able to do, and looked at each other and went, anything's possible. Guys, I think we're gods. I think we're gods. We can do anything now. And now have gone on to just own the Lightning, which is difficult to do because the Lightning is a very powerful like mascot.
That's right.
And no puns intended, but it is powerful. It's electricity, so it's literally power. But you were saying that thank goodness they have a name like the Lightning, because that seems impressive. When you beat the Lightning, you can go home and be like, look what we did. We beat the Lightning. That was awesome. And it wouldn't be as impressive if they were like,
we're battling fluffy clouds,
right, Cumulus Nimbus
Nimbus fluffy cloud team.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay
the Tampa Bay smiley faces,
the Tampa Bay breeze. Right? And you're like, oh yeah, I mean, you should have kind of beaten them, shouldn't you? What are other really bad names that you think over history just got like beaten out of teams? Like, do you think there was any that was like the koalas and they were like, that's too cute, that's no?
It seemed, well, I mean, I think koalas would be the team that would surprise everybody, because I hear that they're really mean.
They're very mean. Yeah, well, because
they appear to be
well, they have chlamydia a lot of the times, apparently. We found that out last episode. And then apparently they're just fucking drunk all the time, because apparently when they eat eucalyptus, it like gets them high.
Okay.
And so when you take them from the eucalyptus, they're like, fucking give me my heroin back. Get off of me. Want my fucking heroin. And so, yeah, you're like, oh, you're really rude, you drop bear. And so
I don't want to digress too much, but can you consume enough eucalyptus cough drops to create the same kind of effect? That could be the new street thing.
I think it's like it has something to do with their metabolism. So it's like how catnip and cats work, where like if you shove your face in catnip, all you do is feel dirty, right? But if you do it to a cat, first of all, it seems really rude to just shove catnip and like, take this catnip.
You're going to like it.
They'll roll in it and stuff, and they'll be like, this is awesome. And it's just because of their, like the way that their metabolism works and like their genetics and things like that. So I think it's the same as that.
Go koalas.
This has been a wide range of topics that we've gone through.
Highly educational in a very short amount of time.
This is going to be an entire show of ADD is what I think is what's going to happen.
You're on the money.
It's like, there's lightning. Speaking of lightning, hockey. By the way, hockey, that's a lot like your mom hitting you because you didn't get her anything.
That's right.
Koalas. And now we're back around. So last but not least, super important, Daniel here from Yellow Tie Guy is going to be playing Friday, May 25th at the Bungalow in Chantilly, Virginia. To find out more about that and other shows and music and everything else, go to www.yellowtieguy.com. We're going to hear a little bit from one of his songs a little later called Afraid of the Rain.
Fitting.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I didn't mail this to you today. This was,
you didn't even know the storms
days
were coming.
Of preparation. That's right.
Or precipitation. Days of Precipitation. And it's from an album called Play on Words. We're going to listen to a snippet of that a little later, so hang around. But if you are feeling impatient, you want to hear the music now, fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show, and you can listen to it in its entirety. We won't talk over it or anything. And then come back and join us, because we are going to start a thing we like to call the Weather Report. Now, this would be very apropos because we just did a weather report of what's happening outside,
right.
But we're doing this one with an H in it. What's going to happen is I'm going to put you in charge of a national publication, brand new. You're making it from scratch. You're the editor-in-chief. Okay. I'm going to toss some stories that I found on the internet over to you and see if I can get them into your publication. You're going to let me know whether or not they're news and whether or not they make it into your publication. Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah? You got this?
Got it.
You feeling good?
I'm good. I'm thinking of my name, the publication name.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you find out what's going to be in it, you should maybe
modify.
Yeah, maybe. So let's get started without further ado. Let's see. So there is currently a tent city in the town of Maple Ridge in British Columbia. The tent city houses many homeless individuals. It's been open for about a year. British Columbia Housing wants to open a 55 modular homes to house the residents of the tent city before winter. Makes sense, right?
Sure.
Just frozen bodies in the winter of British Columbia seem like they wouldn't be a nice thing to see. Not a lot of tourism for that. Poke the frozen body. The housing would include 24/7 supervision and would offer access to mental health and addiction treatment and life skills programs. So rehabilitation,
right,
for folks who are right now in a rough spot and may have issues with addictions and things like that. So great thing. But the thing is that there's an organization called Protecting Maple Ridge. Members of this organization are protesting the building of modular homes on the property. They don't want, quote unquote, a camp full of drug addicts on the streets. So how are they protesting homeless individuals living near them? This is the question. I'm glad you asked. They are camping out on the property and occupying it in tents, like homeless people. And I don't think they get the irony. I'm not sure why. The thing that I don't get is these homeless people are already in a tent city. They already exist. They're already there, right? They're just putting them in an actual, in modular homes so that they can get back on their feet. These people are like, no, fuck that. We want them to stay in tents and freeze. And we're going to do that by being in tents and showing you how hard it is.
I feel like the people that are already living in tents would know,
right,
how hard it is. Yeah. Gosh, so is it news? Sure, I would say it's news. Just, I think I would like to read about how long those people plan away from being away from their homes.
Right. And if they lose their jobs and then lose their homes, and then they have to move into the modular homes.
Did they change their Facebook status to show that they've left their house, so that every robber on the street knows that,
right,
that the house is currently available?
And that would be good to know.
Maybe those people in those tents should go and stay in those people's houses while the other people are in their tents.
There you go. Right. Because these people are doing what the homeless people are doing, but it's always, camping in general is weird to me. Because it's essentially people who have homes going and pretending like they don't have homes for a weekend because it's quaint, right? There are people who don't have homes.
A gentle reminder of everything you work for all week.
Right, yeah, it's it would be great. We just go out into the woods. We pretend like we don't actually have a house and we don't have sinks and we don't have running water. Oh, that would be just awesome. How unique, right?
Well, speaking of, I mean, if you go to most of these the parks where you can go to camp and it's at like a national park or a state park,
Yeah.
you're so close to your neighbor. It's a lot like living in a neighborhood, except there's no soundproofing, like
Right.
no natural soundproofing between you and your neighbor. So like it's like if you're not completely quiet at 8 o'clock at night, you know,
Yeah.
like you're gonna have someone come over and
You're going to hear banging.
yeah, hey, banging on your tent door
Well, yeah, that too.
or your picnic table,
Yeah.
you know.
Or just banging from your neighbors.
Well, it also
I love camping.
I love camping.
But yeah, you know what these people should have to do? They should have to camp with the homeless people.
I thought that's what originally that's what they were doing, and then I realized no, these people are on the new property that is trying to be set aside for, you know, for the homeless people.
Oh, if they camped around them, they could prevent the homeless people from
leaving.
leaving. Ah! Oh, there's a plan. I like this.
Imprisoned by more homeless
By
people.
more tents. It's the weakest prison ever. All right, so does it make it into your publication?
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that story.
All right, excellent. So moving on. Here you go. Here's a news flash. Judge can't end trial just because he has quote unquote heard enough, appeals court rules. Apparently, real life is not like TV. It isn't just like an episode of Law and Order, you know, where they go like, all right, I've heard enough. I'm ready to to judge on this, right? I don't need to hear anymore. Just, yeah, you're guilty. Go to jail. You actually have to just hear all of the arguments. Did you know this?
It seems like it would be a reasonable thing for a judge to do.
Yeah, so here are the case details. The defendant, Brian Sibbard, was charged with failure to comply with a probation order because he contacted his neighbor. So the probation said he couldn't contact his neighbor, right? The witness, the neighbor, had been previously assaulted by the defendant and testified that the defendant had made that contact. After the sole witness testified, the judge decided that was enough information. He deemed the witness unreliable. The defendant was acquitted and the case was over, right? There's a second trial now because an appeals court said the judge is an idiot. Like, you can't do that. You can't just go like, I'm done. I've heard enough. Nobody can talk anymore. And so, and here's the thing. Here's how you know he really fucked up. Even the defendant thought the judge made an error. Like, the defendant was like, can he do that?
Right.
And they're like, oh.
But he wasn't upset with the decision, was he?
No, he's not upset with the decision, but he was just like, I thought we were gonna have closing arguments and things like that. No. So yeah, so now there's another trial, which is probably not very helpful for like the defendant who was like, I thought we were done with this, but
So I guess the judge should be penalized, but I also feel like judges are supposed to judge, and if they feel like they've heard a matter, you know, like that's why they're in that position. Now, if you go through appeals court and the next court gets to make the call and say, hey, we don't really think that we did flesh out all that information. I kind of feel that's what appeals court is for, right?
I think there's rules though. Like, so essentially, like, the defense is, or the like prosecution is allowed to like call their witnesses and say, here's what our case is. And then the defense cross-examines those people. And then there's like closing arguments and stuff. And they say, this is our case.
This is 2018. That shit doesn't fly anymore.
There's no time for that.
Yeah, no.
But so at this point it was like, here's our, you know, was our witness, right? And the witness was like, they were like, can you state your full name? And it was like, my name is Jim, and the judge was like, that's enough.
That's enough.
I'm good. I fucking hate Jims.
I'm going home now. I will send you a tweet with my decision.
Yeah, right. I put a poll up on Twitter, and people say that he should not be guilty. So that's good.
That's right.
Twitter poll we decided to go with.
People have spoken.
Yeah. So there you go. Here's the good news. You don't have to hear anymore to make your decision if this makes it into your publication or not. You're allowed, as not being a judge, to say that you've heard enough.
I don't know that I would consider it news. I feel like it's just processes taking their play, and maybe a judge who has been used to too many microwave dinners, you know, and needs to get back to judging the old-fashioned way again.
This is the instant meal of judging, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know, but I feel like, that justice is being done because,
Okay. So
it went through appeals court and they're like, oh, that's not gonna.
in appeals court, they were like, I've heard enough.
Yeah, we've heard enough. You have to hear it again.
All right. So not in, you're saying.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
for that one. Not for that
I'm
one.
batting 500. That's still not so bad.
That's really good.
Yeah. All right. So next up, new law. Kansas cops cannot have sex during traffic stops.
Yeah, that's news right there.
That's a new law.
I feel like all Kansas cops should be forced to buy the newspaper that day.
Yeah, the new law bans sexual relations, quote, during the course of a traffic stop, a custodial interrogation, an interview in connection with an investigation, or while the law enforcement officer has such person detained, end quote. Kansas was one of 33 states. 33 states. I don't know if you're letting this sink in. 33 states where consensual sex between police and people in their custody was not a crime. Now, there's only 32 states where a police officer can have sex with the person that they currently have in custody.
Yeah, that's like 10% right there. I'm kidding.
So yeah, multiple cases cited where an officer coercing a citizen into sex isn't illegal because the cop said it was consensual. So essentially is like, I am going to take you to jail probably unless I'm really relaxed right now. Can you think of any way of relaxing me? And they were like, I don't know. I guess I could blow you. And he was like, I mean, if you're up for it,
Yeah.
I'm not like telling you what to do, but if I was feeling really good right now, I probably wouldn't take you to jail. And that was okay.
Yeah, that's
Which means I should be a police officer.
in at least one of the 32 states
Right.
where it's still not a problem.
Right.
Right.
I needed to change the job that I have.
That's right.
Because we're in the wrong job. I'm just saying.
Well, we would have to be filming this from your squad car.
That's true. Yeah. Which I assume is also legal. We could
Right.
probably also do that.
Right.
I didn't catch any word if masturbation is still illegal or like is still legal.
Consensual mutual masturbation.
Or just like, sir, I need you to roll down your window. And they're like, no, don't you. God, why did no?
Okay, but can I put the sirens on?
Right. Do you know why I pulled you over? I think I got an idea of why you pulled me over. Stop putting it on my rearview mirror. So I have no idea. Is it news though?
I feel like it's news. I think that brings an awareness factor to some things. Like police officers shouldn't be drunk on their job.
Yeah.
And I also feel like that once you put the uniform on, you should probably refrain from
Keep it on.
Yeah, you should probably refrain from having sex until the end of your shift. Like it seems like see, but that's the other
I
part.
don't actually care. If a police officer has sex with another police officer, no problem.
If it's consensual, of course.
I don't know. I mean, if it's not consensual, that seems like it could be interesting.
I feel like it would create a lot of tension, in the barracks.
Yeah, cop rape could be really weird. That could definitely cause
News at 11.
Yeah, that's a brand new thin blue line that you're crossing over. But yeah, no, so I think I'm not really worried about that. But as soon as you're like, hey,
No.
I'm detaining you and now I have some type of authority, like that's weird, right? There's something weird about that.
There is, but at the same time, like it's also part of the job. Like if you're working a job, unless your job description is, porn star or cam girl, like you keep your clothes on. You couldn't get away with consensual sex with a customer at a Starbucks, like if you worked there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure if you open up the policy guideline book somewhere, there's a chance you would not be asked into work the next day.
I'm very popular. I make a mean
mocha latte, right?
Yeah. I can frappuccino the hell out of somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. No, I would be like,
Put whipped cream on
you
top.
like that? Whip or without whip?
Right.
And so, I don't know. It does seem weird. I'm curious, these other 32 states, how many of the 32 states do you think voted for Trump? If you had to guess. I don't know. I would go with a majority.
I don't know which 32 states they are.
Right.
But let's
if you were to guess
28
population wise.
Let's say I don't know, I'd like to give a fair number. How about 58%?
Yeah.
That seems like
I think it's a majority. I would go with a majority. I'm not sure how much of a majority.
I still don't really know which states voted for Trump. I've been trying to like kind of put my horse blinders on, I think, to try to just make it so that way I can travel around the country without holding too much.
Here's who I know didn't vote for Trump. Mexico. Mexico didn't vote for Trump.
But you're going to love this.
Yeah.
So I heard that Donald Trump was going to be increasing the amount of money that was going to the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to build defense around Mexico. So he's going to increase the Department of Defense budget.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wants to build defense. So he's increasing the Department of Defense budget.
No, I think that's very true. And he's going to make Mexico pay for it. All right. So that's in. Next. To sell condos, televangelist claims Ozarks is the safest place to live during apocalypse. There's something deeper into this that I think is really great. This is televangelist Jim Baker. You're familiar with him, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to sell condos and cabins in his Morningside development in Blue Eye, Southwest Branson in the Ozarks. Okay. Baker, keep in mind, this is a guy who just spent 5 years in prison for being convicted for fraud, right? And he claims that the Ozark Mountains in southwest Missouri are the safest place to live, ostensibly for when the apocalypse comes. His quote is, "I tell you what, you're going to know soon why God brought us here," Baker said. "Did you know people from the government, from NASA, researched so many of them? They have said that in their research, the safest place to live in troubled times is right here."
Can you reread that as Donald Trump?
Because
I feel like it would kind of still fly, right?
Yeah, I don't know that I can.
The safest place to live is right here.
Yes, it's ... It's the best. So knowing that he has had a past of fraud, we decided to reach out to NASA, and by we I mean I read this on the internet. NASA has a quote. Spokeswoman for NASA says, "That doesn't sound like something we would do." That research. So they recommended reaching out to Baker for more details on the research he cited.
NASA was like, "We've been busy working on space."
Yeah, not the Ozarks.
The Ozarks, though, are I mean, they're nice, but
yeah, best place for apocalypse. Yeah, Ozarks. That doesn't sound like a lot of money went into that research. As much as somebody went, that seems nice.
I mean, but if you've seen that show, The Ozarks, you might not even really know.
Maybe that's what he thought it was. It wasn't NASA, it was Netflix.
He thought he was watching a documentary.
Yeah.
And the
people at Netflix have done a lot of research on this.
He's like, look, this guy just defeated a bunch of drug dealers and drug lords. So, I mean, it's got to be a pretty good place to live.
Got to be nice.
It's nice now that all those drug dealers are dead.
Yeah. All right. So we're running a little short on time, so I'm going to go a little quickly through some of these. And you let me know. Oh, does this one make it in? Did you?
No, it's not news. Okay. I wish it were, but it's just not.
All right. I'm going to do kind of the headline. You let me know if you need more information here. Okay. Man says his dog shot him while they were playing. You have a dog.
Yeah.
Would your dog shoot you?
I would like to find out if that dog grew thumbs, and if so, what are the chances my dog could grow thumbs?
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure. Like, it would be news if there was a chance that more dogs were going to take up arms against their owners.
Yeah, they could, instead of bear arms, it'd be dog arms.
Yeah, the right to keep the right to keep and dog arms.
Yes.
Huh.
And so, I guess dog is man's best frenemy now. I don't know.
Naturally.
But yeah, apparently they were playing, and then the pit bull Labrador mix bounded back up onto his owner, Richard Ream. And the quote is, he must have disabled the safety on the gun and on his belly band and stepped on the trigger.
Now, what game are you playing with your dog and a gun?
I know, right? The gun fired, striking one of Remy's legs. He was treated in a hospital. I don't know. Like, was it that, or was he like cleaning it and it shot him in the leg and he was like, oh, the dog did it.
Right.
The dog.
The dog did it.
I'm a responsible gun owner.
It sounds like his teacher needs to find out about it. Like, the dog did it.
Yeah. No, it's just
The dog ate my homework.
he's a responsible gun owner, except he also just happens to have it like hanging out in, I guess, his house. He was on his couch. So, never know.
Maybe somebody, like the SPCA should just go and adopt that dog, because he's in an unsafe environment.
It does seem weird that it happened. Anyhow,
No, not news unless the dogs are revolting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It depends how it smells.
That's
right. 65,000 cans of illy coffee are recalled because the lid might make you punch yourself in the face while holding a sharp metal lid.
Not news. Unless it's going to be like the coffee lid challenge.
Yeah. It could go that direction.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Apparently there's a valve missing on the bottom of some of them, and it builds up enough pressure that when you pull it, it like shoots off and it makes you basically like punch you. It's like, why are you hitting yourself kind of thing? But you're holding a sharp metal lid at the time. So you could just cut the fuck out of your own eye.
Isn't everybody doing it wrong at that point though? Like,
Right.
like you're always supposed to hold these things away from you. I don't know, like.
Well, it's not like a can of snakes, right? Like, people aren't expecting the actual like coffee to jump out at you.
No, but
Like if somebody gives you a can of peanuts, you're like, wait a minute.
But don't you just open up everything as if it's a potentially like dangerous can of snake peanuts?
No. I mean, if it's like champagne, yes, absolutely, right?
Okay.
But if it's like some of those like nice those little like straw cookies, right?
Right.
Do you actually point those away from you?
Yeah, like I'm not opening it like this. I mean, even if I'm holding a jar of mayonnaise, it's like out in front of me. My arm is up here, so my arm is going to go up. My arm isn't going to go, like back.
What if it's really stuck, right? And now you have to like get on it, right, to get that leverage.
On it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there could be some injuries. I think it might just be news just because it's coffee.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody likes coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
All right, so that's in. Motorized shed hits 1 mile per hour to break speed record at Pendine Sands. Yes, a shed.
So this is the first time there's ever been a motorized shed.
I couldn't find the previous record.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was so he could have gone 10 miles an hour maybe and broken it, but 100 mile per hour shed's pretty impressive.
Oh, 100 miles an hour. I thought you said 1 mile an hour. I'm sorry.
No, 100 miles per hour.
It's like Tim the Toolman could do better.
Yeah. Motorized shed hits 100 miles per hour to break speed record at Pendine Sands.
The speed record for sheds.
Yes,
right.
For sheds.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know what the previous one was. It could have been 99.
What kind of shed? Was it like a garden shed or like a fishing shed?
I'm guessing a racing shed.
A racing shed.
Yeah.
So it had like a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, it was a speed shed
buried underneath of it somewhere.
Yeah. A watershed.
Watershed.
It's bigger. That's a bigger one.
That's right.
So is it in?
Is it news? I guess it is. I guess it kind of is news because.
Yeah. I mean, broke a record.
Yeah, broke a record, and I feel like publicly, the glove is cast down, and we should all try to break that record
with fast sheds.
With sheds, yeah, it'll be the next song.
If you go too fast, the wind shear alone would make you shed the shed.
Shed the shed.
That would be the hard part.
Well, so it could open up in a whole new market of products for the wind resistant shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't shed.
It won't shed itself.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, the UK government will be hosting a summit to convince other countries that they should join the EU. I'll let you sink in on why that's ironic.
So the EU wants to invite.
No, UK is having UK government is hosting a summit to explain to other countries why they should join the EU.
Well,
in the UK.
I mean, maybe lessons learned and don't want to have other countries fall for the same things, or in some senses, maybe there's like some subterfuge at work. Like if enough other countries join the European Union, then Britain's decision will pan out in the end.
So you think what you're thinking is that maybe it's like a scared straight thing?
Yeah,
where like they bring all the other countries and they're like, look what the UK did. And they're like, man, I got hooked on independence.
That's right.
And then like my entire economy tanked and just I regret so much. And they were like, yeah, man, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm joining the EU.
That's right.
Like, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the other side, where the EU is, or, if you get enough people to join the EU, then it makes Britain's decision work out to their best interest. Like, because then they'd
Oh, do you think maybe
be
Britain
completely standalone and apart,
You think that Britain is like Estonia? Say that you're Britain.
Yeah.
Like, tell them you're Britain.
Hey,
Hello, I'm Britain and I would like to join the EU. And they're like, oh, okay, Britain.
Yeah.
You sound like you're from Estonia. No,
No.
no, not Estonia.
Yeah, maybe the Britons should encourage the EU to like open up. And just be like, Africa and
I've also realized that I have no idea what people from Estonia sound like.
yeah. Well, they're not a lot of them on TV apparently.
Yeah. All right. All right. So that brings us to the end. That is it. We have finished our weather report.
I'd say it's news, by the way, just to be
News.
clear.
Oh,
it's
yeah. Okay.
news.
So definitely news. So what have you got for a name for this?
I feel like I'm inspired by Uncle John's bathroom reader, so I might call this like the toilet roll tissue.
The toilet. So you have the specific place that people should probably read.
Yeah,
this.
you should read it. You should read it on the toilet, and when you're done, it also doubles as a.
Oh, so it's on a roll.
Oh yeah, like you could just totally read it.
It's on the roll itself.
That's right.
All right, it's recycled.
Every morning you can get your fresh roll of news.
You're like, I hate this news. Oh, you're in luck.
This news is going in the shitter.
Yes. All right, excellent. Toilet roll tissue. Is that what you said?
Toilet tissue roll.
Toilet tissue roll. All right, so the toilet tissue roll times or something?
Sure, yeah.
Is that what we should do?
Toilet tissue roll times.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you. How do you feel it went? Do you feel
I feel
empowered?
I feel like we've sold 100 single ply sheets.
It's the reporting's a bit thin.
That's
but,
right. That's right, but absorbent.
All right. So that's so this is great. You brought to us a track that I'd like to play.
Okay.
So you've been on here before. What was it? Do you remember the track you did last time?
I think the first track that we played for you was Anthem, which at the time was
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's it.
absolutely brandest newest thing that we had done since 2011.
It might have been a world premiere, was it?
It was a world premiere.
Yeah.
No, we hadn't put it out anywhere else, and it was an honor to be able to do that. I really was hoping to have another world premiere ready in time, because I would just be great to be like, man, you know where I always want to do my world premieres? Another wasted hour.
Exactly. We get very excited about it.
It's great. I wish I could have pulled it off in time. I just not in the cards for me.
Now, so was that from the album Play on Words as well?
It was on Play on Words, which
Okay.
we released back in November of
17?
17.
Okay. And so this is Afraid of the Rain from the same album, but
Was it 17? I don't know anymore, man. I can't keep track.
that's when you were here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were here in like October of 17.
That's recently.
Right? No, that's not right.
That must have been 2000 and
I'll have to look it up. We'll look it up and we'll have somebody email us if you know when he was here last.
let's put it. Yeah, make it one of those questions on Facebook to
Nobody-
find out like if anybody knows
No one writes us.
what the first episode was.
Nobody cares.
I write you.
Yeah, that's true.
I do.
Contact at anotherwastedhour.com if you want to reach out to us. You can let us know if you think things should have been news, but you can also let us know when Daniel was on the show
When was I
last.
here last, guys?
We should know this and we don't. So tell us about Afraid of the Rain. What is this track about?
Afraid of the Rain is dedicated to anybody of any age that still makes a decision to go out and jump in the puddles.
Ah, okay.
I tell it like this. You don't know when it happened, but there was one time it was stormy out and you were like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go play in the rain.
Yeah.
And then the next time it rained, you're like looking outside going, oh man, I can't believe it's raining. I can't go play.
Right. At some point in time,
And
there was the last time you played in the rain.
right.
Like there was a day you didn't know it at the moment, but that was the last time you played in the rain.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of tragic. I think it really crosses that line from being completely open-minded to whatever, the world brings around you. Like, it's totally outside of your control, but you're going to take advantage of this opportunity. And then at some point you're just like, oh man, I can't ever live my life again the way I want to because it's raining outside. Blah.
I feel like that day coincides with the day that you have to dry your own laundry.
By hand?
No, just like that you actually have to put it in the dryer and like deal with it being wet.
Right.
Before that, you were like, you just take your wet laundry off, you throw it in the hamper, and you're like, that was awesome. And you put new clothes. You put new clothes on. Your mom like goes and does your laundry and everything, and you're golden, right? And then you start realizing like, oh, if I go in the rain, my clothes are gonna be like all like wet. I'll have to go to laundromat and throw quarters in and get it dry, and like, I don't want to go through that hassle.
There's something to be said about that. But I guess that brings me back to, at that age, you could change clothes 2 or 3 times in a day and nobody would really criticize you for it. Nowadays, if you're changing your clothes 2 or 3 times, like, you better have a good reason for it.
Oh yeah. We should do costume changes more in life.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if at work, like you go to lunch, you come back, totally new outfit. And
Totally
they're
new
like,
outfit.
what? And you're like, costume change.
Costume change.
Yeah. Just has to happen.
Who's with me? We should have National Costume Change Day.
We're like just every couple of hours, you have to change costumes.
Yeah.
You have to change to something like just totally different.
Yeah. Every 4 hours or so should be good.
Or we could do it along with, how there's like ride the metro with no pants on day.
Yeah.
Right.
I've always wanted to participate. I'm always.
We should do one like that, right? Where you go on the metro and then
change your outfit on
every
the metro.
station. You get off on a station, you change your clothes, you get back on another train.
I feel like we'd have to get maybe a clothing company sponsorship. So like at each stop, you could go and grab like some new clothes off of like a.
Or if the people
line.
Before just leave theirs.
Well, maybe what we do is on the pantsless day, all of us that want to change our outfits could just receive the pants of everyone that is
pantsless.
Taking off their pants to ride the metro.
Pants? That's a weird thing to ask someone.
Well, I mean, they're already pantsless and on the metro, right? Or about to be pantsless and on the metro. So they're probably pretty open-minded.
You have to be really careful though, because it can really cross. If you go up to a young lady and say, hey, quick question, can I get in your pants?
Well,
that could change your entire ride.
In more ways than one, yes. But
and probably in a bad way. Like rarely, I don't think that pickup line ever works. And so, yeah, I think it would probably go badly.
Well, I feel like if you, sir, are asking a young lady if you could get in her pants as part of you finding a new costume for you to wear.
Right.
That to me is slightly awkward. I mean, they're just totally cut different. You can't.
Sure.
You can't wear
but you know what?
jeans.
I'm destroying gender roles.
Keith.
I'm destroying gender roles. I will not be beholden to all of these stereotypes. I have birthing hips,
right?
I can drop it like it's hot.
That's right. Twerk it, baby.
All right. So excellent. Well, let's take a listen to this. Afraid of the Rain. So this is from the album Play on Words by Yellow Tie Guy.
That's not the song. I picked a totally different song.
What's that?
I was going to send you Afraid of the Rain, and then Jamie was supposed to be here, so I sent you Dreaming.
So this is Dreaming.
Totally a different song.
We just lied to everyone.
We just lied to everybody. We made a whole segment out of it.
That's so great.
You are dreaming.
So dreaming's just about dreaming, right?
Yeah. I'm really throwing myself for a loop, but I have to apologize to everybody.
That's fine. So
dreaming is
dreaming about playing in the rain. That's really what this is about.
It was supposed to be Afraid of the Rain, and it would have been so fitting. Jamie, if you're listening to this, screw you. No, I love my band, and everybody's got, life, and man.
Oh, sure. Well, if people want to hear the entire song, which is now called
Dreaming.
Dreaming. You can fast forward to the 1 hour mark and listen to it in in its entirety. Now we've got to hear about one song. If you want to hear afraid of the rain, you can go check out Yellow Tie Guy Friday, May 25th at Bungalow in Chantilly, Virginia. What we were doing is we were making you want to hear that song.
Hear it, yeah.
And now you have to go live and check it out because you'll be playing it, right?
I will.
Of course. So go to www.
I have to now.
I know, yeah. yellowtieguy.com, and you can find out more about that show and other shows. So we're running a little behind. Let's move on without further ado to our brand new game show called Please God, Just Get One Right. We're going to give you 6 questions, all chosen by Nicholas Black. He was here last week. He represented the Herndon Art Space. Now I believe he had to answer questions about cat breeds. And I think he got a couple right.
Okay.
So he made it difficult on you. Maybe you're a musician, so you've got a shot at this, but it's very specific. It happens to be like his favorite. And so,
what has he got in his pockets? No.
Yeah, right. And so, his is, the alto clef.
The alto clef. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know much about the alto clef?
I mean, I know that it can be assigned to a saxophone. I know that it could be assigned to someone with a particular singing range.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that it is a series of notes.
That is true. So let's see if you can get one. You just need one right.
One. Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
The alto clef is an example of a clef whose name is derived from the famous note on the 3rd line of its staff. So what is that note? What type of clef is the alto clef?
A.
Not very famous, the A note, but yeah, A is a note. That was very good.
No, I'm not sure that I understood the question, but I thought maybe I was being. You said that it was. Never mind.
The answer is middle C.
Oh, well.
Yeah, middle C is the 3rd line on its staff. The other C clefs are based off of C, but they're up and down from alto. But like I think it's like bass clef is like a G or something like that. It's based off of the G
right.
or F.
I see.
Yeah. So anyhow, so not that one. That was good. What is the name of the lesser known C clef directly above the alto clef?
Isn't it like mezzo alto or like mezzo soprano? Is it this? So
what are you guessing here? What is the name of the lesser known C clef directly above the alto clef?
Directly above the alto clef.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, lesser known. I'd say mezzo alto, just because that sounds.
Oh, you were so close. Mezzo soprano.
Mezzo soprano.
Yeah, you were very, very close.
I thought it would be mezzo sopranos, but I've never heard of anybody use the phrase mezzo alto, and so I'm tricking myself into thinking that I'm going to be tricked.
A lot of people don't know about mezzos in general, like mezzo sopranos. You hear soprano,
right?
You have alto, you got tenor, bass, maybe even baritone,
right?
Mezzo soprano, not terribly well known, I would say,
right?
If anything, I figured people would guess like treble clef, right?
Well, see, I've got it in my head that I'm being tricked. So now I'm trying way harder than if I just used good common music theory sense. Like,
all right. Let's see. Which ones do I? Oh, I have more than I needed, right?
I hope so.
1, 2,
you were going to give me
3,
6, and
4,
I only
5,
have to get
6.
1.
No, I have 6.
Okay.
These are a little tough. Before special clef symbols, so before they became like special clef symbols, in Gregorian chants, one of the first musical pieces written down,
right,
the reference line of the staves was simply labeled with the name of the note that it was intended to bear. What were the 3 most commonly used key letters? That's what they call them, is key letters rather than staffs, or rather than clefs.
Key letters?
Yep.
C, G, and E.
Oh, C, G, and F. You were so close.
Oh, man. So close.
So yeah, in Gregorian chants, C, G, and F were the most popular. Yeah, exactly. Over time, these letters became stylized, leading to their current versions. So going off of that, despite being a C clef, before it reached its final modern form, the shape of the alto, or the shape of this C clef resembled what other letter, particularly when handwritten? So for laziness, people would write it this way, and it looked like another letter. I'll give you a hint. It's not C, because that would be obvious, right?
So 25 out of, or 1 out of 25.
Super easy. All you have to do is just remember all of your musical
Uppercase
training.
or lowercase?
Oh, what would I would say it was an uppercase. Yeah, from what I saw. Da, 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 da.
S.
Da, da. Oh, good try. K.
K.
Which makes sense. You got the line, and then it's kind of like a C right in front of it, right? A
Yeah.
stylized C, but you'd have a line behind it, so kind of
Right.
a K. But apparently, when it was handwritten, usually people would just kind of write a K.
K for clef.
Clef. Yes. All right. Here are two that I think you've got a shot at. All right. Another name for the alto clef includes the name of which instrument for which all music is written in the alto clef.
The alto sax. Is that,
No.
No.
No, it is not. Do you want a second guess? It doesn't have the word alto in it.
Oh, I see. What instrument is designed around?
Oh, this is very exciting. This is a really good radio.
Oh my goodness.
No, this is good, Daniel. Keep.
Oh really?
What you should
Keep
do is,
thinking in my
just
mind.
hum more.
Okay, so
Oh goodness.
stretching.
Thoughts.
Thoughts.
Thoughts
thinking.
are so good and entertaining.
All right, I'm reaching out to the audience right now, and I want them, audience, if you're listening,
They are not listening because we're not. This is recorded. This is not going out live. We're not streaming it. All right, what you done?
I'm gonna get this wrong. I'm not really sure. To be
Okay,
honest with you.
viola.
The viola.
Yeah, violin is in the treble clef.
Okay.
Viola's in the alto clef. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah. So so the alto clef is
I've
also
never
known.
played a viola, so it's very
It's known as the
out of
viola
my, out of
clef.
my range.
Yeah. A lot of people haven't played the viola. It's kind of the stepchild of the string instruments.
Yeah.
All right, so last one. This is it.
This
We're
is
pushing
it.
all the chips into the center. Can you get this? The mandolin.
prepared.
The mandolin has been popularized in bluegrass music. You know the mandolin, right?
What's that?
Yes, you know the mandolin. You may have played a mandolin. Have you?
I like it a lot.
Okay. What is the name of a mandolin type instrument built to play music in the alto clef?
The viola.
That is no.
Well, because a mandolin is
It's a mandolin built to play music in the alto clef. It is quite literally a mandolin, but
oh my gosh.
you've never heard of it. Oh my goodness, we've stumped you.
Again.
We've
I'm about to
stumped you.
get them all wrong.
Oh
and go
no!
down into
And it
the-
was music related.
and music.
You should be so ashamed.
I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I'm ashamed I didn't get one of the first two right. Because I wouldn't be in this predicament right
Yes,
now.
that's true.
I said,
Mandolin.
a bazooki,
No.
or it's not a lute.
Nope.
'Cause it's
Not even
kind of-
close.
yeah.
I have a feeling you don't know.
I'm guessing I don't know.
All right. So mandolin,
Right.
violin,
Right.
viola, mandola.
The mandola.
Yep. There is also a mandocello and a mandobass.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they actually mirror the stringed instruments of the orchestra.
That sounds like Rogue Instruments just trying to make up some new stuff to sell people. Like,
No, they're legit instruments. They're fairly rare. The mandocello is pretty
you're
difficult
friends
to
with
find.
one of these people that plays this instrument, aren't you?
we had a cellist in our band, and we were thinking at one point, because the mandocello is actually stringed the same way as the cello. It's the same like fingerings and stuff, that we could actually have him play mandocello for some things, and it would like directly correlate.
A mandocello kind of sounds like a fancy dessert, though, that I'd get at a.
It does sound like, it does sound like I think you're thinking of limoncello.
Am I?
Yeah, limoncello is a type of like lemon flavored liqueur that's sweet.
Right.
And so, yeah, and a net fluted cello is a person. That has nothing to do. It's very confusing. I understand. All right. So
it does make for good radio.
Unfortunately, you did not win this round of Please God Just Get One Right. So you do not get to pick something out of Uncle Archie's box of fun. There's only one thing left. You would have gotten the last piece out of Uncle Archie's box
that means
of fun.
other people are getting one right. That's
yeah, lots of people.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
no, you're terrible.
Right. Okay.
Like people are getting a lot right.
And there'll be lots of Twitter talk about.
Oh my God! No, we're just going to just rail into you on Twitter.
We can edit this whole portion out, right? We can.
It wouldn't be a whole wasted hour then.
Oh
yeah. But the power might go.
No, didn't do it. Yeah, that would have saved me. We could have stopped, 49 minutes ago.
You would have been good.
Would have.
All right. So you didn't get that. You, however, do win the prize of taking the pain that you have just felt and the embarrassment and bottling it up into a brand new category for our next guest so that they can feel the humiliation that you have just gone through.
All right.
So what are you going to inflict on our next guest?
And
keep in mind while you're thinking about that, if you're upset about the alto clef, you could go down to Herndon Art Space. They have the third Thursdays through May through September. So every third Thursday of the month. It starts May 17th. Go talk to Nicholas Black and say, "You son of a bitch, you picked the alto clef?
Kick you in the nuts."
Yeah.
Yeah, every third Thursday I can just go down there and kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Repeatedly.
Every third Thursday.
Yeah. So
the Herndon Arts Center.
Yeah, Herndon Art Space. So when somebody comes to you on Friday, May 25th, and with their anger for what you picked for them, what is it going to be based off of?
Cardboard.
That's a pretty good one. It's pretty big and nobody knows anything about cardboard.
It's just cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's unassuming,
good.
Right?
Yeah, nobody's going to know anything. This is going to be horrible. I personally hate Nicholas Black because I had to look up stuff about the alto clef,
right?
Which is not interesting.
Total waste of your time.
Oh my God, it is so. That's all 6 things.
That was your wasted hour.
We've almost run out of time. So I'm gonna not even do our stinger, but near and far, we've been having too much fun talking. Is
Thank
the problem.
you. It's been a good time.
So you want to share you have a new album that you're doing, right? So we have about a minute here. Tell us about your album. Like I know that's coming out.
So
you got plans.
We've got plans. So we're currently songwriting and developing some new songs, and we are hoping to put out maybe a single or an EP in the near future. Working, trying to get locked in with Jimmy Davies from Jimmy's Chicken Shack.
Jimmy Haha, people used to call.
That's
yeah,
right. To do at least a single and perhaps work on an EP for us.
That's cool.
We'd like to inspire him to want to do it. And been talking about it and trying to get the material together. In the long term, I'm really excited about this project. Been thinking for a while that I want to record 10 different songs in 10 different Maryland, DC, Virginia studios, and then have 10 different Maryland, DC, Virginia studios do the mixing. And then
20 studios you'd have involved.
Yeah, exactly. So with 20 studios, I feel like it would give us the chance to really showcase a lot of our local talent from a producing engineering standpoint.
That's very cool.
And we'd find a location to do the mastering for us to kind of keep the record cohesive. But on the liner notes, it'd be 20 studios.
Everyone got a little piece of it.
Yeah, and honestly, it'd be great for doing a local show where we could invite everybody out, that was involved in the project and have guests on the record that are, friends or performers in different studios.
Well, we've run out of time. When you get this album done, you're going to come back and we're going to do a world premiere. All right, excellent. Did you have a good time?
Every time.
All right, thanks for coming out. Everybody, that is Daniel Warren Hill from the Yellow Tie Guy. Also coming up this week, Thursday, May 24th, Ginata Pinata at the Ukraine homestead of ODWU in Langton, Pennsylvania. I don't know what that is. Lehighton. Friday, May 25th, the Yellow Tie Guy, the Bungalow in Chantilly, Virginia. Go check that out. Saturday, May 26th, Stone Driver at Union Stage in D.C., Yellow Tie Guy at Ballad Brewing in Danville, Virginia. We've got Sam Cooper and the Sleepwalkers at Wind Up Space in Baltimore, Maryland. Wednesday, May 30th, Camille Miller at Vinyl Lounge in Washington, D.C. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and YouTube. Thanks to everyone for their contributions. Most of all, thanks to the Yellow Tie Guy for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour. And if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.
They did.